Wife calls them when they're in the bed.
Hello YouTube and welcome to F1 2019. We're here for the Italian Grand Prix here at Autodromo Nacional Monza.
Yes.
Monza, the high-speed circuit that provides some of the craziest racing on these long straightaways and tight, heavy braking zones. It's going to be a fun one today. We have 7 drivers here today. I'm joined with Malik up in the booth once again. The track is open for qualifying.
I'm gonna sit out qualifying. I have to do something.
You didn't have to tell us that.
Oh, sorry. My dad has no
I'm
idea.
just hoping this race finishes because I gotta do.
My dad doesn't know how to use Amazon, so I have to help him order a phone.
Well, you better
Again,
be
you
back
didn't
in
even tell
17
anyone that.
minutes.
I'm just remembering, going back to the subject of Paul Menard, I remembered his career stats. He had a grand total of 69.
Okay, why are we talking about Paul Menard? Nobody cares.
He had nothing but a Brickyard win. Congrats.
Paul Menard is the GOAT.
The definition of a one-hit wonder.
With a grand total of 69 nice top 10s.
That's all he's got to his name other than a win.
Damn right.
So taking to the track now, we have Ben and Markle on outlaps now. Also along with them is David and Foursquare taking to the track. So this race, all important, 3 Grand Prix remaining in the season. Ben enters this race with a 16-point lead over Markle. Markle needs this track, kind of an equalizer track, to kind of get back into the championship battle.
Oh, and Avenge is actually doing something basically no one in our league has ever done. Go out on mediums to actually feel out the track.
I think, yeah, this is the first time all season.
I do it every qualifying session.
We have not seen it, so it is interesting to us. We'll have Brian on an outlap as well. Dan and Elijah not coming out of the pit lane at this moment.
And BG is already wrecking!
I'm not shocked. At the same time, on a warm-up lap? Really?
He couldn't handle the DRS straight. When he activated DRS, just completely went around. Into the wall.
I'm just gonna say DRS broke right then and there.
And Marco decided to go from the Christmas car to the cotton candy car.
There is damage to the right front of that wing for Brian. Yeah, Marco's sporting a nice magenta and blue livery this week.
Trying to let you know what flavor's at the cotton candy machine this week.
Got a couple of bright cotton candy.
I don't know if they're really flavors. Cotton candy is just sugar.
Yeah, cotton candy is
flavor sugar
with maybe some berry flavoring.
Maybe, but over Ascari goes Ben on his way down to Parabolica.
Is it me or is like Monaco the only track that people bother to learn the names of the corners for?
Yes.
Well, you have to at Nürburgring, other than nobody's gonna know when you say turn 45. Ben goes top of the charts, a 120.523. Markle goes second, a 121.155.
This is not what Mark was looking for. 6/10 off of Ben.
Yeah, that is abysmal. He's looking to regain that in another lap. David goes third quickest on the mediums.
Foursquare still looking for sponsorship after getting another podium.
Yeah. Another caution in Sector 1. This is Markle. Here comes Foursquare 2 to start finish line. He'll go third quickest. barely edging out the mediums by a tenth. That is not great.
BG has come back out after hitting in for his wreckage.
Yep.
I still have no idea what the fuck happened.
Brian NV Blue and Blue 97.
That's weird because on my screen it's like blue and purple.
BG, we don't want to hear your shit.
Nobody does.
Alright, so it is blue, blue, and purple because only the rear wing is purple. And BG does not know what an 8th gear is. He was revving 7th gear to the max.
Time to switch off of BG because actually a competitive driver somewhat, Dan, is out.
Oh, Dan is on an out lap, but he has not started a time lap as BG's coming around through Parabolica now. Caution sector 3, that is moving chicane Markle.
Uh-uh.
That's moving chicane David. Out of fuel. Yeah, it is. Let's see where Brian ends up. Hopefully he can at least beat the mediums. Oh, he's on mediums.
Well,
Never mind.
I'm on medium.
So he's just hiding how bad he'll do on softs. At least
Maybe
until
he just couldn't
later in
handle
the
the
session.
softs. Too much grip when he hit DRS. It just took hold of his car and fucked him.
Into the first of the Lesmos. And now through the second of the Lesmos.
And still almost spun off the same corner again.
It's a pretty it's a pretty light corner for these cars. Very little grip. It's a high speed right-hander.
How long is this race left?
Into Parabolica we go with Brian. And Brian goes 5th of 5, a 122.631. On board with 2-time series champ Dan. In the grass through the first of the 2 Lesmo curbs.
And Ben and Markle come back out for the second attempt already.
Yep, along with 4 square. Through Ascari we go with Dan. And on his way down to Parabolica, up to the 8th gear. Now to Parabolica we go with the 2-time series champ. 2 to start finish line. It's looking bad. It's a 6 out of 6. Must have made a mistake somewhere. He did get into the grass through the first of the 2 Lesmos. On board with point leader Ben.
So with 4 square, he's coming back out, but he has a lot of time to gain. As with his original run with the soft tires, he was barely faster than Avenge on the mediums.
Right, and David's now out on a set of soft tires. On board with Ben. Up the straightaway to Ascari. And Ben, to the start finish line, improves to a 120.382. Now on board with Markle. Into Ascari we go. He is flying.
Foursquare is 3/10 up on his lap right now.
Yep. Here comes Markle. He'll improve on his time to a 1:20.599. Here comes Foursquare up to Parabolica. Oh, going
Running it
wide on the
completely
tabletop. But to the start finish line, improves to a 1:21.0. On board with David.
Better, but still really far off.
Still 6/10 off.
One of these numbers is the right one.
Now we have Avenge in the Xbox car.
Illustrator.
Into Parabolica we go with David. And David crosses the line third, a 1:20.868. On board with Dan, improving upon his time big time, in the green by 2.5 seconds, on his way to Parabolica. That's a slight mistake there. He's gonna lose some of that time he's gained, but to the start finish line we go with Dan. There's a 1:21.7, so improves to fifth, but that's not really saying much. He'll have to come back in, fit a set of softs, and hopefully get one more lap in.
You would think for a pretty simplistic track that the times would be closer around here, but
A lot of time to be gained. On board with Brian as he's taking his first timed lap on a set of soft tires.
though through some of these gaps he'll be able
Here we
to
go.
Get back some of that gap with some draft.
Oh, he misses the apex at turn one. And Dan is, he's out of fuel. I don't know if he'll make it back to pit road in time.
And also Dan, with that, he was using the same tires he had for the last run he did.
That's right. So there's still time for him to be gained. If he can make it back to pit road, he might give it one last shot. But he might have to be on it 100% on pit exit. Markle, Foursquare on out laps. On board. That's right, but he's going at such a slow pace.
He's right now just in the second sector.
And Brian improves his time to a 1:22.1. But yeah, it's just still so 2 seconds off of the fastest time on a pretty simple track compared to the other circuits for sure.
I think one thing that might be considered is I'm not using these top speed setup. I gave myself
I'm surprised nobody's tried to come out with each other and try and get a little bit of draft here.
Yeah. The only sort of teammates we've got going on here are brothers Dan and Ben, because Markle's teammate is in the booth. Foursquare's teammate is gone for, I believe, the 4th week in a row.
With that, Foursquare is just taking his lap now.
Yep, here comes Foursquare. He improves to a 0. Or no, he was already at a 0. That's right.
And also Markle's on another lap.
Markle's on a hot, on a timed lap right now. 8 1/1000ths off of his fastest at the moment. See if he can clean up through the Lesmos. Dan did make it back to pit lane. So he definitely has more than enough time now to get a fresh set of softs on and go. Markle all over the grass on the exit of Ascari. Here we go into Parabolica. He's gotta nail it. On the gas we go, trying to stay on the racetrack side. Here we go to the start-finish line. Markle takes the pole, a 120.334. Here we go, Foursquare. Right now into green through Parabolica. On his way to the start-finish line. Foursquare improves to a 120.511. That is third quickest. Here comes David on an outlap.
This is exactly how it happened last week. Markle just got the pole at the very end. Ben came out to try and defend it and didn't get it. See if he comes back out and actually gets it this time. He gains the pole.
Coming to 2 minutes remaining in the session. If drivers come out, they're going to have to get a little pace with them.
As I say that, Ben has just come out
Actually, he's
now.
got time, yeah.
As Avenge comes to start his lap.
Yeah, here comes Dan. Dan on an outlap as well. BG out as well. Here comes David on the timed lap. Waiting for Ben, Dan, and Brian. David right now sat fourth. Only half a second off of the pole time at the moment. Oh, misses the apex there in the second chicane. Oh, and
Takes that right-hander a bit too wide.
Yeah. And is right now in ERS mode 4. Is not an optimal ERS to take the pole. I couldn't imagine this be another feeling out lap. Oh, and Brian had a mistake. And he's lost the wing, so he will not go on another competitive lap. And David's aborted his timed lap, and he's pulling into the pit lane.
Probably through the best, through messing up to the chicane,
Yeah.
and also turn
And
6 going
Brian
too
has
wide.
aborted his timed lap, so now we have brothers Dan and Ben on the track alone. They will be the only drivers left to try to steal the pole away from Markle, on board with point leader Ben. Up the hill to Ascari. Comes Ben out of Parabolica to the start-finish line. He goes pole, a 119.994. On board with Dan as time expires on the session.
Oh, damn.
Into Parabolica we go. Oh, maybe a little slow through the center. Can he get to the line? He will improve, but not a position. A 121.021. So that means Ben will start on the pole for the Italian Grand Prix. Mark will start second, Foursquare third, David fourth, Dan fifth, Brian sixth. And hopefully many things doesn't miss the start.
Foursquare was able to close the gap a little bit there, but still a little ways off.
Yeah, almost an
But should
entire
be able to
half second off.
shorten that gap with some draft.
Yeah, they'll have draft here at the start of the Grand Prix. Ben went on another fast lap. Considering those are the tires he's going to start the race on. So that might be to Marco's advantage that Ben went another lap at speed. You let off at the start finish line, but
I'm gonna be AFK for the first bit of the race as well. Just stupid. I'm just gonna let the AI do it.
Oh, your AI is not gonna perform.
I know, it's sad. But my dad needs help.
And so it sucks for many things. He will be starting this race from the pit lane.
My man.
So here we go. It's race day here for the Italian Grand Prix. Each driver is ready to embark on their, this will be a 27 lapper.
The big thing here is, as we know already, Marco's prone to mistakes in turn 2. Well, in turn 1, he's going to be second. See what happens.
I
Yeah.
start second.
Marco really needs this one. This is one of those equalizer tracks as we head into the final trio of Grand Prix. Here we go, here with the Italian Grand Prix. But before we hit off our 27 lapper, these drivers embark on the all-important formation lap. And Dan does not go immediately on the formation lap.
As we also know here, Marco usually drives the car a little too hard on the first stint. He usually gets the lead for the first 3 laps, gets away in DRS range, and then just burns up his tires. Ben usually ends up getting him as the run goes on.
We'll see, with Marco having a slight tire advantage to start, will it affect anything? But here we go, through our starting lineup. On the front row, we have our point leaders, Ben and Marco, first and second. It's the way they've started most of this season. Row 2, we have Foursquare and David. Row 3, we have our 2-time series champ Dan and Brian. And row 4, we'll have Many Things as AI. It will not perform. It is at a 41 AI level. So we might have lap traffic here by lap 6.
We already know from Marco from Singapore, he is not dealing with any AI.
But here we go. It's a quick lap around here, even a quick formation lap. Whoa, Marco's gone through.
Went through
The
Ben.
AI over and it goes through.
Marco's a little bit too eager to get Ben here.
Alright,
He knows. Marco 16 points back as we embark on the Italian Grand Prix here.
Let's make it through turn 1.
Yep, here we go. Look, wait, equalizer. We'll head to turn 1. It's a long front straightaway in a very tight first corner.
Hopefully
these
BG
drivers-
knows what the brake pedal is.
As Many Things as AI takes to the grid box, it's time to bring the action. We've got 5 red lights, and it is lights out, and away we go. Ben is off to a great start. Marco trying to hang there, side by side, down the front straight away we go. Ben trying to eke out in front. Marco, let's see how late he brakes. He gets into
And
Ben.
Ben hits into
Along
Marco,
goes Ben.
and Ben is
Foursquare
around.
to the lead. Dan to the lead.
Dan,
So
I think,
Dan-
ended up cutting the corner to get around all of this mess.
Yeah, but I don't think he had any other choice, and he hasn't had to give the spot. So Ben back to 3rd, Marco to 5th. As Marco looks to the right side of BG, can't get there. Into the Lesmos we go.
Ben, even with spinning in the first turn, is still right there.
Yep, right on Foursquare. But that did not help.
Affected most by this was Markle.
Yeah, but it did not help Ben's tires. Here comes Markle up the hill to Ascari, looking to the inside of BG. BG, wow, would have cut his nose off big time if Markle didn't check up. So here goes Foursquare looking to the lead. And how about this? Our two-time series champion, Dan, comes off a Parabolica as the race leader. Dan with the fastest lap on the opening lap. Yep, there goes Foursquare. Clear of Dan. Foursquare to the race lead. Dan sets the fastest lap on the opening lap.
And Markle finally able to get around BG.
Yep, that was very important as David hits up the pit lane, most likely with some wing damage.
Though Ben is already a second up the road from him.
Yeah, Marco really needs Ben to be held up by brother Dan and Foursquare. Whoa, no, big moment. I think the rear was trying to come around on Ben. Here comes Dan, a huge run on Foursquare. Up the hill to Ascari we go. Dan peaks, doesn't move.
With this, Ben is just sitting behind, hoping Dan will just move.
Dan not looking to do that. Dan wants to be up here. He wants to fight hard for a Grand Prix victory.
As Ben goes to the inside of Dan.
Yeah, brothers duking it out for second. Dan goes wide.
Dan goes a little bit wide, gets a better run out of the corner.
This is helping Marco. It's Foursquare sets the fastest lap, a 124.760. Marco really trying to get the slipstream off of these two in front of him. Ben with the preferred line.
Turn one.
He'll clear Dan. Oh, a slide. A caution in sector 3. That's David going around at the exit of Ascari. Wow.
But then now Marco's going to have to clear Dan
and back
quickly.
Into the barrier. And Marco needs to get by Dan as fast as he can if he wants a part of this championship battle.
Boy, this race is going all kinds of right for me.
Yeah, from bad to worse for David. Back up front, it's still Foursquare starting to drive away. Now Marco with the slipstream and DRS on Dan. Dan's got DRS on Ben. See if Dan can maybe get back to his brother.
With this, Ben is not really pulling away at all.
Ben goes wide! Here comes Dan, a huge run! Marco, can he take it 3 wide? He's peeking, he's thinking about it, he thought about it! Dan with the inside lane through Parabolica.
With how Marco usually drives, I'm surprised he didn't go for it.
But I think he's thinking big picture here. He has to think big picture here.
I'm back. How am I ahead of someone?
David's not had the greatest race. Then Dan with the preferred line into turn 1 as we ride on board with Markle. Oh, Ben clears Dan through the first chicane.
With all this serious battling back here with Markle and Dan, Foursquare is just
driving away.
Right now.
Wow, the importance of this battle. Here, Markle over to curbing. Into the gravel trap he goes slightly. But Dan losing touch.
Had to go to the gravel trap there because Dan was a little bit slow off the corner.
Oh, and Dan sends Markle into the barrier!
Dan
and they
just
both go off.
Markle's nose, and Markle is once again wrecked.
Oh, that hurts. And a 10-second time penalty for Dan exceeding track limits. Markle into the barrier. Oh, that hurts bad.
Dan just out of turn 6 got a little bit too loose and came back up into Markle.
Oh my goodness.
And Markle is now just cutting corners. A little bit pissed off right now, I guess.
I would be too. That He also has lost part of his front wing. Doesn't have the grip he needs to get through these corners at speed. On another note, Brian onto the podium.
With this, Ben can just focus on going after Foursquare now.
What even is this race anymore?
Markle in the pit lane.
Markle into the pit lane, and we talked about it being the great equalizer. And wow. Just wild scenes coming from the pit lane here. The replacement of the front wing, a fresh set of softs goes on to number 41. And
Ben's got it down already from 2.2 to 1.7.
Yeah, Ben is on it. Looking
No,
to
1.4.
possibly salt away any chance of Markle coming back in this title race. It's still a long one, and the same thing easily could happen to Ben. We will see what happens if Ben catches Foursquare and how the battle goes. It is never over until it is.
With
David
with
the
BG out of
fastest
his
lap.
3 qualifying laps, wrecking 2 out of 3 right now on a podium. 5 laps in.
Yeah, David sets a 1:23 for the fastest lap of the race. Yeah, Brian doing a nice job, staying out of trouble, sat third. And should anything go on between the top two if they get to battling, we're really talking.
With that, Dan also got no damage from that event.
Yeah, Dan easily got away from that incident with the upper hand. He did get 10 seconds of a penalty for exceeding track limits, but that's probably the penalty he would have gotten for the incident in itself.
With that, serious shit happened to Avenged, because even with all that,
Yeah,
Markle
he's
is
still set 7. Yeah, Markle's
miles
still
ahead.
ahead of somebody.
Does this game still have that penalty that can like defer depending on severity of collision?
no.
Oh.
I don't believe so, yeah.
Ben and Foursquare has basically equaled out now.
Yeah, Ben is not gaining on Foursquare. I really do think it's those tires.
With that, Foursquare does have 5 ERS on right now, while Ben is at 1.
That could be a big thing, yeah.
Now Foursquare has to go back down into 1.
Foursquare just trying to attain some sponsorship in this series.
Race winner, multiple podiums, still struggling for sponsorship. Sports dying day by day.
The only sponsors are tire sponsors out here, Pirelli and P0.
Foursquare looking like Truex. Successful, yet no one wants to sponsor his dumbass.
Speaking
Just
of
the
which,
HRT guys, calm down.
Ben is on it now, down to 1.6 seconds up the hill to Ascari. Brian continues to lose time to the leaders. Oh, they could wreck at this point and probably still keep first and second.
But BG is going to have to pick up the pace here, because Dan, even though he went through the gravel trap and hurt his tires, is catching a bit. I think he went from 6 seconds down to 5 now. Even though Dan does have a 10-second penalty, BG, you know, is going to have at least a wreck this race.
You know, I really didn't get the chance, or I got the chance and I didn't take the opportunity to say, championship implications!
Oh.
That is completely true.
That hurts. I didn't say that.
Or the even better one, because Marco's aggression, and aggressive goes around!
But that one really wasn't him being aggressive. I mean, maybe a little bit.
Neither was Truex when he said it.
It's funny because Keselowski was the one being aggressive.
Yeah, Keselowski hit him from behind and turned him.
And aggressive goes around. Wrong one.
I'm in the middle of nowhere.
Same.
Don't worry, you'll have championship implications next week. Because how this is going for Markle, another wreck is in the books for him.
Championship amputations.
And amputations?
My God.
Is there a foot
In
you
other
cut off
news,
to?
Ben has cut the lead down to within 1 second. Let's get to racing. Here's a
That
enter
wreck between him
parabolica.
and Dan didn't seem that bad.
Oh, Marco may want to give him an
championship.
amputation after this one.
Ben's finally down to DRS now.
And understandably, Marco and Dan have
As they
both
can
been
see Avenge now.
silent since the incident. Dan into the pit lane.
24.7 seconds.
Dan, after ruining Marco's probably championship, not even a sorry. Big rips in chat.
I'll probably talk post-race, but we'll see. Ben goes wide through the first of the two Lesmos. Dan fits a set of mediums on his pit stop. We'll probably have to make one more stop.
I don't think Ben's close enough to
Foursquare
try for a
goes
pass
wide.
on this straightaway either.
Here we go,
Waiting to hear
slipstream and
Foursquare.
DRS
Foursquare
is
sneaking
huge.
a little bit. Ben was just not close enough this lap. Let's see if
Not
he
close
gets
enough.
closes the gap enough next lap.
Closing the gap. And just kind of breathing down his neck. Not really close enough to do much. Foursquare has stepped it up. Over the curbing he goes out of the second Lesmo, though. Up the hill we go to Ascari.
Ben losing a little bit of time going too wide.
Through Ascari we're looking.
And
Oh! And a virtual safety car! Wow! The aggression on the exit of Ascari! That has got to hurt!
The pressure just got to him. He hit the curb, and it just
my
that curb right there is
goodness.
like ice.
And
The curb there
Brian
is like ice. Hits it,
goes
and he's
to
just around.
second.
Ben is going to
Many
be able
things.
to pit easily right now with the virtual safety car.
Yeah, he's not going to lose that lead. Many things is going to come through the sector now, up to third.
Many things.
Wow.
Having an AI drive for him today, a substitute driver, and in a podium.
I mean, I'm on it right now.
Oh, I thought you were showing here.
No, I'm.
See you guys.
Oh,
That's got to hurt, yeah.
Foursquare after looking so optimistic at the beginning of the race.
Yeah, I mean,
oh man.
When everybody was battling for the championship, he was just pulling away.
Dan
After
pulls
that
up
wreck,
to third as
Ben
Many
closed
Things
him, and he
fits
couldn't take the
under
pressure.
a virtual safety car.
We should have gotten a real safety car. 'Cause that was a really dangerous spot.
That's what,
that was a
Marco
bad
was
spot.
hoping for.
Yeah, Marco was really wanting a
I
real safety
needed
car.
a I needed a full.
A lot of
safety
people
car.
wanted a real safety car. That one. Yeah.
Didn't it only deploy VSC for my crash?
Yeah.
Yeah. Safety car is on, obviously. It's just not getting a real safety car. I don't know what will constitute a real safety car coming out then, but yeah, that was a dangerous spot.
Because in real life, like the safety car comes out easy.
Ricardo.
I thought that crash in turn 1 was going to be a full course
With-
safety car.
No, I didn't think that one was gonna
No,
be.
I thought that would have been a VSC at best.
But with that, Markle went to soft tires. Ben, BG probably don't have to pit again. Markle has to pit again.
Yeah.
So to gain any positions from here, because many things also won't be pitting again. So his best possible finish right now is probably 5th.
I already pitted.
Yeah, no, I said you won't have to pit again.
Oh, I thought you
You
said I
didn't
will.
listen. Now repeat the question.
But Markle will have to pit again, so his best finish is probably 5th. Unless other stuff happens.
I swear to God, the Scar's going
Goes
to
many things up the inside for 4th. And cleared. Yeah, just a really nice day for Brian right now in 2nd position. He's just staying out of trouble. Everybody else has kind of been caught up and stuff. Many things started with the AI. Everybody else has crashed at some point or spun in some point during this race.
With that first race, BG hasn't been here for a while, but came back at Hungary. Just took it easy, come back, and podium. Something I don't think he was able to achieve when he raced
I think
before.
he got maybe a couple.
I think I remember
Back
I got
in the
like
day.
3 or 4, like in
I
the
get some
full
jealous. I'm still
season
waiting
that
for my
race.
first podium.
Don't worry, I got my first podium on debut.
Oh,
Hey, Mr. Cocky.
I know.
I got a podium.
Oh, he
Ben
went
right
right, he
here just
crashed.
flexing his
Marco
like
crashed,
9
Marco
wins.
crashed.
Marco's
Marco's
the
gone
same side as
around.
Foursquare.
Yeah, he did not get out, though. He is fortunate to be able to continue and still have maybe a
playing another
chance.
Probably the
looked at my-
same issue as Foursquare though, just driving a little bit too hard through there and jumped the curb.
Yeah, and those
Lost
tires.
traction.
Now Marco's just trying to get to pit lane.
Dangerous of a corner.
Cleaning off the tires. Yeah, that is a very dangerous corner. High speed exit of Ascari.
And if you just jump that curb a little too wrong, it just
Sends you.
you just lose all traction and you're just around.
Alberto Ascari didn't die for the sin of his corner.
It's tricky anyway because you have to go through like 3 direction changes in like 5 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I meant. I meant 10 for the season. I just meant this your season wins. I didn't mean to like say your complete total.
This
Is it first
in a row.
if we're flaunting like complete totals, I have 59 wins total.
Oh.
I
So
have
he
more
has
wins.
one.
I have more wins in NASCAR and IndyCar, and I'm the top winner in like 6 series.
Yeah, remove those 27 wins from GTA. He's still
I'm still have the
top
most
of the
wins.
wins list by 1 win over Tyler Kemp, but
I'm still top of the wins list if you take GTA out.
And I'm like,
That's not it, and my 59 isn't counting my rally wins.
who's like the most successful without a win?
so the explanation.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
Foursquare declined an interview. There's a car going around. Same spot at Ascari. That's the 4th time today somebody's been caught out on the exit of Ascari.
But you gotta understand Foursquare not wanting to do an interview, probably just a little bit too frustrated.
I
Better
don't
not
blame
to say
him.
anything at the moment.
Yeah, I don't blame him for declining an interview, but his explanation said what he said was he shouldn't have pushed so hard on those tires. He was gonna pit that lap, and he wanted the biggest gap he could heading into pit lane. And Marcos fitted a set of mediums, as David into the pit lane will also fit a set of mediums. Now everybody on a set of mediums, 2VN most likely. Serving, I guess, a 5-second penalty for something.
No, I'm just too lazy to take over the car.
Oh. So
With
back
that,
up front.
Dan has caught up to BG, but with the 10-second penalty, it's probably a done deal unless BG manages to wreck.
Yeah, unless BG also manages to get past and lose 10 seconds to Dan. Which is gonna be tough. Which in that regards, many things could gain 4 seconds and still be in the talks for a podium.
Yeah, he does have 2 lap pressure mediums, and they're taking these tires to the end, probably.
Yeah, many things could pick up the pace, which he's lost 2 seconds since I've said that, but...
What do you expect, man?
You bragged on him too much.
Yeah, BG looks to be in line for second and easily a podium if he doesn't make a mistake from here on out.
If.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a big if.
Oh shit.
And Dan in the grass! Ended up saving it.
Markle, big moment in turn 1. Has to
Dan
keep the car
almost
under
wrecked
control.
the same place as Markle and Foursquare, just saved it.
That's why I'm trying to stay as much off the curbs at any of the corners as possible.
Rightfully so, this game is known for its auto spin curbs.
Like, I'm babying my car so much.
Why,
A 3-second time penalty for corner
booth.
cutting for David.
I missed my braking point to turn 1.
Yeah, I'm babying my car
Isn't
so
he-
much right now.
Wait,
just
are you
to
in
keep the car
P6?
straight.
Yes.
I'm on the front straight right now. Ooh.
I've also spun like 4 times.
Ooh.
Big oof.
Second time
Markle penalty now.
That I watched that one. I don't know if I would have even called that one, but
Markle just having the time of his life, just weaving back and forth.
yeah. I don't know if I would have even called that last corner cut, but the game did.
I can see why it did, because when I try to commit to the corner, it recognized me making that swing through the cut.
Talking about Markle's corner cut.
Oh.
But of Ascari, I could see a lot of people relating to that one.
And Markle.
And
off into the
around
gravel
goes
trap.
Markle! Wait, no, never mind. I just saw
And Markle
pink,
just go into the gravel trap a little bit.
I just saw a pink car sliding.
Yeah, Marco's just giving up a little bit here.
It was Stroll.
Marco feels a little bit defeated and cut a corner
Oh, he's
completely.
he's just running.
He just doesn't care right now.
He may be close to disqualification too. If he's deliberately cutting corners, they might disqualify him. It depends on the game's mood, I assume.
Many things.
Hmm.
Did he come back and take out Pierre Gasly in the process?
I don't think so. Not this time.
Oh.
I know, right?
Marco's gone wide and out he is!
God damn
We're
it.
there again.
And a safety car is deployed!
Ooh.
Don't worry, I wrecked Raz. He wrecked.
Probably something
This brought me back into the race.
BG didn't want to see the
BG
most.
didn't want to see. David might be able to get a lap back if he plays his cards right.
I don't think I ever won a lap
Many
down,
things
did I?
and avenged is what they want to see.
You
it,
are
but
a lap down.
BG,
Oh.
BG doesn't.
So Ben into the pit lane.
I'm getting a free butt stop.
And that might be decided. That might have decided the championship right there.
Who needed the points?
Same.
Wait, was it Marco?
Yes.
Ooh.
Has BG in the pit lane, Dan in the pit lane, probably everybody in the pit lane here.
Yeah.
Oh, David just got out in front of Ben. That's what he needed to get back onto the lead lap.
Ha.
Wow! Oh, he ran the safety car! He ran the safety car!
What a scrub!
Holy shit.
He's run into the safety car!
This man got
Oh my goodness!
Well,
The safety car was having none of his shit.
What a Grand Prix, Ben.
We had championship implications. Foursquare, the leader by 3 seconds, wrecking out, and now someone hitting a safety
Ben,
car.
please save your video clip and just.
Oh my god.
Please. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
He was trying to go to the left side of the safety car, and it
And the
came
safety
back
car was
up the
blocking.
track.
The safety car was blocking. He was having none of his shit. He was like, "No, you ain't getting your lap back, bitch."
the safety car got going right as I ran up on her.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Safety car was like, "No, you're not getting your lap back. You ain't deserved this shit."
You ain't worked for that shit.
What the fuck even is this race?
Now with that, BG only has to fear many things.
I thought this race was going to be a relatively clean one.
As did
Oh,
I.
Dan-
Like once the field started breaking up, I'm like, it's gonna
Dan
be.
has a 10-second penalty.
Yeah.
I can catch up.
And Ben back into the pit. Oh, he's going for fastest lap, I'd be pretty sure. Also noticing that his peers are on softs.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have like a 8 or 9 laps.
We're gonna have a
at the
sprint.
end, so.
Yeah.
So with this, Ben will have to start behind these three on the softs. Have to make
This-
passes while trying to go for this fastest lap.
Looks like it'll be my first podium if I don't crash.
Oh my goodness. And how about this? In his second race back, Brian is leading the Italian Grand Prix. Dan might have. Dan has a 10-second time penalty, but in review, if that got appealed, could win this Grand Prix. I don't know if it would get appealed.
No.
No, he clearly cut across and just dominated him.
Yeah, but. It would have to
went to his outside and Dan just cut
it
him
would have
off.
been, it would be a big review, but it's not off the table.
It looked like Dan got
Say-
loose and
Here,
cut him
I'll
off.
put it this way for you. When I caught my car and came back to the track, I was in the grass.
The safety car will be going in this lap. So on this restart, Brian will lead us to the green, Dan second, Many Things third, Ben in fourth. Dan has a 10-second time penalty as we're going green with 8 laps remaining in the Italian Grand Prix. Brian Many Things easily can score one of their best finishes and
Penalty! Many things got a
oh
penalty!
my!
Okay.
Collision under
Clip
safety
if
car.
it needs to be reversed. Save your video clip and send it if it needs to be.
If he
Yeah,
actually
we're
hit
pretty-
somebody, then it's...
I lightly tagged him, but I didn't do anything to like affect him.
And the safety car is in. Back to racing we go. And BG into the grass.
Almost wrecked. He
Dan
lost the
takes
lead.
over the race
He
lead.
didn't even lead a lap. PG managed to not even lead a lap.
Aren't you
Yeah,
glad
we
you
can
joined
say
me
that.
in the booth for this one, Malenko?
Damn right, BG managed to fuck it up. He wasn't even going more than 80 miles an hour and wrecked
If
almost.
Dan could just gain 10 seconds right here, this could be something. As Ben, now right behind Many Things, I think this is the first time in a while that Ben's been in traffic, other than obviously the start of the Grand Prix.
BG going wide, almost off the track.
Emerson
Many
after the
Things
race,
wide,
but-
has to keep the car under control. Trying to block Ben! Into the grass! Hard call flag for Many Things!
He hit me. Oh my god.
And Brian, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings.
He got the lead and he let it just go to his head. Almost spun on a restart, now cutting corners.
Yeah, he's giving this Grand Prix victory back to Ben.
He may not even get a podium how far he's fallen now. 3 seconds, many things right behind him, plus Dan is pulling from him now.
Ben back to second. Dan with the fastest lap of 123, 140. Ben could be that person and try to back up the rest of the field 10 seconds. And the rest of the field only being BG. It would be something.
I'm serving my penalty in the pits right now. Oh my god.
Oh, at that point it'd probably be hard to even gain advantage from the penalty being repealed, but...
Yeah. Oh my... Like always, something gets ruining my chance at a podium.
Ben went a bit wide there.
So Dan continues to lead over Ben. Brian in third. Many Things falls off the podium and in fourth. Now Dan and Ben have broken away from BG. And now Dan fighting his brother for a potential Grand Prix victory. Caution in Sector 2, that's Many Things. DRS disabled. Or enabled, I'm sorry. Ben with the fastest lap of 122.786.
BG back by 3 seconds now.
Yeah, this is going to be a battle between the brothers. And then it'll be a full review of the incident post-race if it's that close anyway.
Still not. Not even my...
So we're coming around to 5 laps remaining in the Grand Prix. Dan's now opened up a 1.2 second lead over brother Ben. Brian's fallen back 4.5 seconds. Many Things now down 46.5 seconds to race leader Dan. And the many casualties this race. We're approaching the 90% mark.
After the safety car went in, we almost had BG wreck out on a restart, and then Many Things almost wreck out with Ben.
As well. I think the only around goes there into the gravel trap goes Dan. Brother Ben looking to the left side. Side by side they go through the long sweeping right-hander. Into the chicane, Dan lets him through. Dan all over the gearbox of Ben. Into the Lesmos we go. Through the second of the Lesmos. Now Dan will have DRS and the slipstream up the hill to Ascari. Big run on Ben, looking to the right side.
Dan almost into the wall.
Yep. Dan back to the race lead. Oh, goes Dan.
That's the third person to spin to
almost
there.
across the track, almost into Brian.
That is the third person to wreck me there. Hitting the curb on the exit there is just... You can't recover from it.
And he has wing damage as well. Bringing it back into the pit lane now. I think he'll be racing Many Things. So back up front, it's Ben with a 4-second lead over Brian.
BG, even with messing up on that restart, still gonna have this second place.
Yeah. I mean,
the great equalizer of a track has done everything to equalize this race. Going wide is Ben. Many things with the fastest lap. A 122.649.
Especially when the track doesn't think that you should have your lap back because that safety car was having none of avenge shit.
God damn.
Oh man. Yeah.
Did anybody go to the medical center to see if the safety car driver and avenge was okay? Because they probably are dead.
Burned Mylander.
The safety car is a tank. The safety car is fine. I can't wait to see Ben's view of that because he had the perfect view of it.
Motorcade. Safety car's the motorcade.
He's the beast.
Yup.
My goodness, that safety car driver is protected.
Ben's just trying to get his lap back, and the safety car just blocked him.
And a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings for Dan. Going wide on the exit of Ascari, keeping the car under control.
That's a BS time penalty.
Does he have 10 as well?
It was 3 seconds. But
I thought he had a 10-second.
he does have a 10-second as well.
Oh.
13 seconds of penalty. Holy shit.
10 seconds.
That's nothing to
gravel trap.
That's nothing compared to Kyle season 2.
Oh, that was
Guy
46
oh my
seconds. I don't know how you
never going to finish this race.
you get 46 seconds worth of time penalties.
That 10-second time penalty, I was in the gravel trap the entire time. And they gave me a 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits.
Oh, Ben, over the curbing, had to keep the car under control there.
I'll beat you a bit wide.
Yeah, coming to 2 laps remaining. Brian's just hoping. Can he? It's possible that Ben could make a mistake still. I think he's the only driver not. Oh, he spun on the opening lap of the Grand Prix, but not to his fault. I think the only driver not to make a mistake today.
I got super loose out of Parabolica, but that's it. I still kept it straight.
Yeah, the 2 drivers, first and second, are the 2 drivers who've made the least amount of mistakes.
Same.
I avoided Ben
Oh,
spinning out right
you
in
had
front of
to
me on the
avoid the
start.
big one under the safety car.
Yeah.
Oh, you have a good view of all the wrecks today. Oh my, just save your whole video clip, yeah.
God damn, you had a golden horseshoe today.
Yeah, Ben's been lucky with the accidents. He has had a lot of accidents in front of him.
The only one that really happened in front of me was the first lap one, and then Dan spinning out of...
And going wide is Ben! He just wants to make it a little spicy for Brian. Oh, and Brian's loose!
All spice.
Very white toast. No Tabasco, no spicy boys.
Oh no!
And a caution in sector 2, that's many things out!
We started with 7, down to
We're
3.
down to 3, and we're not even done!
I crashed at the first Lesmo.
Oh, the first of the 2 Lesmo curves has caught out many things, but I believe he made the 90% mark.
Yes,
He
I
should
did.
still get points.
For P4. And I got fastest lap as well.
That's right, and because you made the 90% mark, you qualify for it. I have to go back to make sure you made 90%, but I'm pretty sure you did.
I mean, I crashed at lap 26.
Yeah, I think that's...
Now with that, even if BG manages the wreck, he still gets the podium.
Yeah. So, secured podium for Brian in the second Grand Prix back. But we're not done yet. We still got Ascari to go for all 3 of these guys. Through Ascari for the final time.
Everyone.
Ben going wide, but he just kept his foot in it. And a caution in sector 2, that's Dan.
Oh, and Dan spawn.
And through Parabolica for the last time, and I believe, if I've counted right, for the 11th time this season, Ben will win the Italian Grand Prix. Brian coming home with a safe podium in second. Hit the share button.
Share button, let it load, and then press
Yeah,
square.
let it load, and then hit the square button once the share menu is loaded up.
Oh, but since he has never done it, he probably doesn't have the 60 minutes on. It's probably only like 30 seconds.
Oh yeah, you might not.
Oh.
Well, we'll see, Vo. We'll see what you have.
On default, it's 5 minutes.
I still think it's happened over.
So nothing's happened. I was like, nothing's happened in the last 5 minutes.
Thought that was gonna crash
And Dan
off.
crosses the line in third. I think he got another penalty at the end.
I would.
It being a bit extra, but still a podium off of that horrible run.
Yeah.
My God, what a podium we've got today! Oh, sweet!
okay.
So we get the safety car. At least we get that one. And Dan
We get those.
and maybe Markles.
Fastest lap. Take it.
How about that podium celebration? And podium interviews is gonna be interesting. That's all we've got. Wow.
23 seconds. At the end, when he did that, Dan, he got another 10 seconds.
If I had just finished, I
So
would have been podium.
Ben wins his 11th Grand Prix of the season. Brian with second in his second start of the season.
Oh.
Dan comes home third. Many things. I believe gets past the 90% mark, comes home fourth. David DNFs would be credited with fifth. Markle DNF'd would have been credited with sixth. Foursquare DNF'd early would have been credited with seventh. Didn't even make a pit stop in a Grand Prix yet.
Oof.
BG from.
I was super conservative the entire race because I knew that Ascari was going to catch me out at
Save
some
it
point.
for interviews.
Yeah. We're joined by our third place finisher, Dan. Describe the race.
Describe the race. Well, the contact with Markle, like, I was still gaining control of my car, and I don't know why he would jump to the outside. Like that. Like, if
That's
a
fair.
car is losing control, you're going to turn right, or turn the opposite direction you're spinning to correct it. And then as soon as I turned, the car grabbed and moved over, and he was there. Like, there was nothing I could do to change it, what happened.
Right. Yeah. I would agree with that. I don't know if Marco was fully aware you weren't in control of your car, but if he did, I would
caught the curb in it.
Yeah, heading into the second Lesmo, I would agree that's not usually.
And then
how
I got a time penalty for staying off the track and just staying in the gravel, so I didn't cause anything else. And I got a 10-second time penalty for it.
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
Now it wouldn't matter, but I believe it. I believe Ben. Even if
Well,
Dan.
yeah, I knew what was happening. That's why I wasn't saying anything when Ben wasn't catching it all.
Well, yeah, I know. I
finally caught
mentioned
the
it.
inside curb going off the final part of the corner. I finally caught the inside curb, Nick. Well,
Yeah.
well, I try too hard when I'm battling. I understand. I know that.
I didn't even get that.
Yep.
But a wild race. Yeah. Other than the incident of Markle, it was tough for you, but coming home third, how does that feel after everything that happened?
I'm just happy to finish the race, to be honest. I hit that wall with the left front tire twice, and it didn't break it either time. That's the reason why I almost killed BG when I flew back up on the track, because the car just bounced off the wall like a spring. I was like, this ain't good.
Yeah, I did see that. You went extreme scenic route.
Yeah, the car was... I was terrible, dude. The entire race, my car was terrible.
You'd have to, I believe. I mean, you could share it to. Oh, well, you can't even share it to Facebook anymore. No, not anymore.
No, you'd have to share it through YouTube.
Through YouTube or Twitter.
They don't have a Twitter. You kidding me?
Yeah, I guess through YouTube and then just send a link, but still wicked.
Well,
but congratulations on the podium. You still have 2 Grand Prix left. Are you gonna get a victory this season?
Probably not. I'll be honest with you. Shut up, Ben.
So we will see what how you close out the season, but congratulations on the podium 3rd place finish.
Yep.
All right, Brian. I know you've been waiting. First tell me about the race.
Honestly, I basically was taking it easy the entire race. Right from the formation lap, it dropped me down to less than 70% ERS, so I had to run almost the entire time on low, and I topped it up a little bit on fuel so I can run a little bit harder that way. It was a little bit sketchy whenever I tried to get around cars, because even though I ran a little bit higher downforce, the car was still very loose in traffic, and especially out of the corners like the second Lesmo and Roscari. It got sketchy quite a few times.
Yeah, I would agree. I believe that mentality and that setup you used might have been the key for you staying out of trouble for the most part. What were your thoughts under the safety cars? You saw Ben pit, knowing that you would take over the race lead. What were your thoughts for that restart?
My thoughts were maybe try to back up the pack a little bit and try to get a good launch out of Parabolica, maybe pull a gap for a lap or two and try to see what they're going to do behind me so I can secure my podium. But as you saw on cold tires, I lost it a little bit out of Ascari, ended up behind Dan, and then as soon as Ben came through, I'm like, he's going to be a lot faster than me, so I'll give him an inch and let him attack Dan.
So the race itself, but how... Sorry, if you had anything else to say.
As soon as, I was hoping that Ben could attack Dan and maybe slow him up a little bit so I can get 2nd place in the bag, because I felt once the safety car came out of 2nd place car, we all knew Ben had the best car in the field.
Yeah, so overall, 2nd race back, how does it feel kind of already back onto the podium? It took you a while back in the day to get your podiums, so kind of back into that swing of things. How does it feel?
Feels good to get back on a podium, of course. This is the first time I've done any type, other than last week, this is the first time I've done any type of league racing in the best part of a year and a half, so good to get back into the swing of things because of life and everything, moving to new places, doing different things, having an actual life. It makes it a little bit harder to do racing like this, but I enjoy being in this league, no matter how much shit you guys give me.
We do give you a lot of shit, but you're a great sport about it. You handle it like a champ. Congratulations on the 2nd place finish. 2 more Grand Prix left on the season, China and Monaco. What are your thoughts?
honestly, just if I am able to do both those races, just keep it clean, keep it out the wall like the last couple races I've done. Maybe I can get away with another podium at Monaco because of all the craziness. And I remember a few years ago, I believe it was 2017, I had Monaco pretty much in the bag, and then you kind of tapped me into the wall there, Emerson.
Ah.
Back when I was in the Alpha Tauri.
Good times, good times. But yeah, congratulations on your second place finish, and good luck to you in the coming weeks.
Thank you.
All right, and we're joined by our race winner, 11-time Grand Prix winner on the season, Ben. It doesn't get old, does it? Oh man, you got some stories about this race? Oh, it was wicked. Under the safety car, tell me about that one. You come off the pit lane right behind David, and it was on from there. That was how about under the safety car scene, David hit the safety car. That was you had a great view of that one. Any thoughts that you might have had that encounter with the safety car as well, or were you just kind of? Mm-hmm. All right, so final restart. You're lining up. Was it fourth? What are your thoughts going into it? Trying to just get the best finish you can, knowing Marco's out of the race, and just trying to expand that point lead, which I believe is now up to 41 points as of now. I believe so. What were your thoughts on the final restart? And they still were wrecking. Alright, so we go in. Congratulations on the win, by the way. We go into next week. All you need to do is finish, I believe, 8th or better, and you win the title. You need finish the race, yes. Yeah. Yeah, assuming we get the same field sizes. Yeah, 8th or better. So thoughts going into China? Yep. it is one of his better tracks. So it then is down to, can you finish the race?
And Ben gets wrecked by his brother Dan.
I'm thinking you almost wrecked
What
out today.
are you gonna get out there with a fucking tire if it breaks off?
The walls are far from China, you're right. Except the front straightaway, but yeah. Oh, I think I remember, yeah. Alright, but yeah, it's light work heading into China. Just show up and finish next week, and you end up doing what your brother has done the past 2 seasons and win a championship. Congratulations on the 11th Grand Prix victory, and good luck to you in the coming weeks. Alright. Wow, already made the call, and I mean it's pretty easy. What he has to do next week is literally show up and finish. But yeah, this was wild, a wild race. I mean, we started with 7, we ended with 3. We had a safety car and a VSC, and the safety car turned on somebody. We had it all. Matt, what were your thoughts on this race, and would you have enjoyed being a part of it?
Well, I wouldn't have enjoyed being a part of it. I would have been one of the people wrecking through turn 10 like everybody else was, but it was fucking insane. Everything that happened was just wild. Not anything you would ever thought of.
Yeah, this is easily probably the most entertaining. This was our Germany.
Any incident you could think of happened.
This was our Germany of last season in real life. We had everything.
The only thing we didn't have is just a random shower in the middle.
Yeah, it rained, yeah. That's all we got for Italy. I think if you've seen this, I think you're hooked on for next week. So join us next week at China. 8 p.m. Eastern. Or, I'm sorry, 7 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, right. I lost my own time. I have to convert anyway. I'm Central Time, so I have to convert all the time. But, yeah, 7 p.m. Eastern. It'll be a blast. Just you wait.